you heard right there was a little bit of a minor key chord melody. So today we're going to talk about the key of G minor, the minor scale, and all of the chords that go along with it. Get yourself tuned up and let's get to it. Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and click that alert bell so you know when the next video is coming your way. If you're interested in more learning resources, head over to AllForUke.com where we have a full searchable library of songs, song sheets, practice tracks, worksheets, and more. All for you, AllForUke.com. So let's take a look at the chords that we're going to use in the key of G minor, starting off with our G minor chord here. On the 3rd fret, sounds like this. I use my index finger to cover the G, B, and E string across this fret. You could also use your ring finger to do this, or you could use middle, ring, and pinky if you prefer to use 3 fingers. The other way that I'll play this as well at the end of the little melody is by barring the bottom 3 strings and then adding my ring finger to the D string on the 5th fret. So there's our G minor chord. That will be our 1 chord here in the key of G minor. Our 2 chord is an A diminished. Sounds like this. I have my index finger on the D string, my ring finger on the G string, my middle finger on the E string, and my pinky on the little E string on the 1st and 2nd fret. Cool, nice little tense chord there. Then we move over to our major chord, which is a B flat. So to play B flat on our baritone here, I'm going to use my ring and pinky on the G and B string of the 3rd fret and my index finger on the little E string of the 1st fret. You could also use your middle and ring finger for the 3rd fret notes. Try both, see which one's a little more comfortable for you there. Then we move over to our C minor chord. So C minor is played with our ring and pinky on the 5th fret of the D and the G string, our middle finger on the B string of the 4th fret, and index on the 3rd fret of the E string. Nice minor chord there. Then we move over to a D minor chord, and D minor is played with our middle finger on the G string of the 2nd fret, ring on the B string of the 3rd, and index on the 1st fret on the E string. We have an E flat chord as well. The E flat chord is played over here by barring the 3rd fret, placing our ring finger on the 5th fret of the D string, and middle finger on the B string of the 4th fret. We're going to use this one a bunch of times, so get good at getting this bar down. And then we have our F chord, which we can play a couple different ways. So we could take this E flat shape and shift it up to the 5th fret and keep the exact same shape, and that E flat becomes an F chord. We can also play it down here in 1st position by barring the bottom 2 strings on the 1st fret, middle finger on the G string, and ring finger on the D string of the 3rd fret. So we have that as our F chord as well. And those are the chords of the key of G minor. So we're going to use those throughout the chord melody that I put together today. Now let's take a look at the scale. So let's take a look at our G minor scale now. So I'm going to play the scale and then we'll go through it note by note. So it sounds like this. So I'm going to use my index finger for everything on the 1st fret, middle for everything on the 2nd, ring for the 3rd, pinky for the 4th fret. So I have full coverage here to get this scale through. So I'm going to play an open G string for my 1st note. And I'm using my thumb here and gripping underneath the baritone here for the plucking. So I'm going G, and then I play middle finger, 2nd fret for my A note. For my B flat note, 3rd fret of the G string. Then I move down to the B string and I play the 1st fret with my index finger, 3rd fret with my ring finger, 4th fret with my pinky, and then I move down here to the little E string and I play the 1st fret with my index, and then ring finger on the 3rd fret. So going through that, I have G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G. And those all correspond with the chords that go in the key of G minor. So that's a place you can play. First position here, so anything that you're trying to create with chord melody down in the first 4 frets, it's nice to have that scale in place because you can easily access all of those notes. Now let's say you're playing up a little bit higher here. Here's another way of playing the same scale, but starting on the B flat note rather than starting on the G note. So I would start here on the 3rd fret, and again, I'm going to try to get maximum coverage here with my hand, so everything on the 3rd fret, index, middle on the 4th, ring on the 5th, pinky on the 6th. So starting on the B flat note here, I could play the scale the same way like this, starting on B flat, C on the 5th fret, D on the 3rd fret of the B string, 4th fret of the B string, 6th fret of the B string, and then down to the little E string, 3, 5, 6. So going through that scale, we have B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. So you have 2 scales that you can use. So now you have access to the first 6 frets as you're putting together chord melodies. So you've got pretty good coverage now of the neck. So we've talked about the scale, we've talked about the chords. Now let's get into this chord melody together. If you're digging the sound of my uke, head over to AllForUke.com/shop. You can have a Kali ukulele for yourself. When you buy your Kali ukulele through AllForUke, you're supporting us, and we really appreciate it. Make sure you check it out. Concerts, sopranos, tenors, baritones, a wide selection of accessories, capos, and more. All for you, AllForUke.com/shop. All right, so now I'm going to demonstrate a chord melody progression that I put together for you. So I'll go through the full thing and then we're going to learn it section by section. So here it is from the top. All right, let's get into our first section now. So we're going to start off here with our index finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. So I'm going to play 3, and then with my pinky, I'm going to extend out to the 6th fret here of the B string. So I have 3, 6, which is a D and an F note, D, F, and then I get right here to my G minor chord, which I play by barring the bottom 3 strings here. So we have 3, 6, G minor. Now I keep this in place, and I'm going to do a pull off here from the 5th fret to the 3rd fret on the little E string. So in order to do a pull off, I play the note while I'm holding down the 5th fret, and then I'm going to pull off my finger. So I play it, and I get 2 notes. So pull off from 5 to 3. Sounds like that. So you really want to make sure that you get that 2 notes really defined as you do the pull off. So we have 3, 6, G minor. We move over here to our D minor chord. And then we'll play the B string with 2 single plucks. So we have D minor, 3, 3. Then we're going to move over here to our E flat chord. So we're barring the 3rd fret, and we just do 1 single down strum there. Down strum, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. And then we go playing within the chord here. We're going to play the 4th fret, which we're already fretting on the B string, and the 3rd fret of the G string, which we're also fretting. So we have E flat, and then just keep that chord held down to play 4, 3, and then we finish off this section with a single strum down D minor. So let's walk through that nice and slow. I'll talk us through it here for this section. So we start off 3, 6, G minor, pull off, E flat, 4, 3, Section 2 starts off with an E flat chord here, so we're barring the 3rd fret again, single strum, and then we play 4th fret of the B string, which we're already fretting again, and 3rd fret of the E string, which is a G note, which we're also fretting. So we have E flat, and then we have an E flat note and a G note, and then we go to our B flat chord with a single strum. And I'm going to play 2 single notes within that chord. So I'm going to play the B string and the G string. So we have B flat, and then a D note and a B flat note. And then while we have our hand in position here for the B flat chord, I'm just going to slide my middle finger over to the 2nd fret, and now I'm holding down this D minor chord. So I play single note on the G string, 2nd fret, which is an A note, and then I'm going to strum this D minor chord 3 times. Very open sounding. So this little section here now we have, nice and slow, starting on the E flat, 4, 3, B flat, 3, 3, A, D minor. Moving on to section 3, we're going to start again with our E flat chord. So we have E flat, and then again, just like section 2, we're going to do 4th fret of the B string, 3rd fret of the E string, move over to a B flat chord, and then play those single notes again, B string, G string. So we have now we're going to jump over to a C minor chord. So that's a little bit of a move here. So you might want to practice just going from this B flat chord and sliding over to the C minor chord a bunch of times just to get used to that chord change. It's a pretty tricky one. So then we strum our C minor chord, single down strum, and then we finish it off here with a single pluck on the B string, 4th fret, which we're already fretting, and then same thing on the G string, 5th fret. Already fretting that as well. And then our ring finger is in place here on the D string for us to move right into our final chord, which is G minor. So I just shift from this C minor chord, 4, 5, and all I have to do is take my pinky and middle finger off, and I'm playing G minor. Nice little chord change there. So let's go through that section nice and slow now. So we start on the E flat chord. E flat, 4, 3, B flat, 3, 3, C minor, 4, 5. Now we're going to put all 3 sections together. I'll talk us through it step by step, and then we'll play it together afterwards with no talking. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 6, G minor, 5, D minor, 3, 3, E flat, 4, 3, D minor, back to E flat, 4, 3, B flat, 3, 3, A, D minor, back to E flat, 4, 3, B flat, 3, C minor, 4, 5, G minor. All right, for the final chord melody of the series, here we go. I'm just going to go and play through it now. Just follow along on the tab below. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, thank you so much for joining me for our first chord melody series on baritone. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you would like the tab for this, along with a chord chart and some exercises, jump over to AllForUke.com. We have those for you if you want to check them out. Also, leave your comments below. Let me know where you're playing your baritone. What kind of baritone do you play? How long have you been playing baritone? How many times can I say baritone in one sentence? My name is Kevin. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.
Let's get carried away.